Okay, I think I have it working. I'm sorry, guys, it's my first time doing streaming by myself, so I don't have anyone to ask right now what to do if something goes wrong and something goes mute and I'm like mute for the rest of the time, then oh well. um, but hi everyone, my name is May May. This is my art channel, Imbu Art, and I randomly decided, well, yesterday I decided that I wanted to stream me designing a character because I feel like the best way to learn is to literally watch someone else's thought process rather than just watch like a, I don't know how to call it, how to like watching somebody's like fast pace. I am running out of words. It's not I'm running words, but there's like the word that I want isn't coming to mind. But watching a time lapse. There you go. Watching a time lapse, like I like it. It's aesthetically pleasing, but it doesn't help, at least for me personally, to know how to do something. So yeah. Also, I'm going to check the audio really quick too. Give me a second. Yeah. Okay, cool. It's okay. Um anyway, now to get to designing. So I'm gonna be designing my character HuiYing. Um he's a character in my boyfriend's D&D campaign. Um he streams the campaign practically every weekend unless something happens and not all of us can be there. His Twitter handles at Ronan Quincy. I don't know how to share it because I am technologically not good. I just know how to draw. That's all I know how to do. So yeah, he streams it on Twitch, the same handle, Ronan Quincy. Anyway, on to designing. So HuiYing has gone through many designs, as you can see through here. Her original design was her guard outfit, which was this one. And she still wears that, but she only wears that when she's going to work, obviously, because she technically works at a police station, but her designated job is doing guard stuff. And the original, one of the very original designs that I did, this is actually, let me put on a date of when this was created. Oops. May 24. So a couple of months ago, these were the designs that I had in mind. Her original character design was actually, I really just wanted to play like a happy-go-lucky girl who's very, very lucky. She was actually like her power was supposed to be based off of Klee from Genshin, and I just wanted to have a very explosive girl with, for some reason, whole bunch of luck, and her name was supposed to be Klee. You're lucky, but um, I forgot how and when and where. I think at the time I was kind of obsessed with Modazushi, which is Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation, and I really liked the black and red design that Wei Wuxian had. So I really wanted to go with something like that. So that's why I designed this kind of outfit. And for people who know me, I'm really into K-pop. So I really wanted to incorporate a lot of K-pop design. And at the time, Taeyeon's INVU came out. And so this is where this middle outfit comes from. I'm like super obsessed with K-pop. And I really wanted her to have that design in mind. So that's why there's how do you call it? The weird arm warmer plus like the asymmetrical shoulder thing. Um, but then I was like, you know what? It's too modern looking. She won't fit in. She looks too main character, and I don't want her to look too main character because there's other main characters in this campaign. And so what I decided to do is I tried to make it more fantasy based, so at least she would kind of like fall in better with the others and she wouldn't stand out too much. So that's why I came up with this thing on the right. I really liked what they call, I think, Weimao. And also I'm sorry if I pronounce anything wrong in Chinese, so I can't, obviously if I say something wrong, then I apologize. But yeah, I wanted her to have the little, so Weimao is like a hat with the veil. I really wanted her to have that because I feel like it added on to some mysteriousness. And I think somewhere along the way, I decided to come up with this story that her parents would be like this kind of tragic forbidden lovers, and because her dad is part of basically Yakuza um group. Well, her mom was a noble, so she lived with her dad, and that's why I came up with this kind of design. It was like a Chinese inspired design. Um and I really liked, I'm not sure what they're called, but these kind of tops, the ones where it kind of, I mean, circulate, like this kind of neckline. I really like that. I think it's flattering, and I think I really wanted to include arm warmers, um, and this weird looking design for the pants because I kind of wanted to make something based off of the hanfu, so something that was very flowy and would look really graceful when you're in combat. Um, but I also wanted to design it in a sense to have some of that K-pop inspiration that I really like for outfits. That's why I did the I realized it's called the crotch cutout. So I wanted to have that. And I wanted to have like the waist jewelry because I thought that would look really cool. And then obviously I had to give her a tattoo because her, with her dad being part of the Yakuza, she would also inevitably have some tattoos. So that's where that first design came on, and um it's not really the Yakuza. I actually wanted the actual proper term that I was using for reference is actually the triads. Those are the Chinese version of, I guess, the Yakuza, are like the mafia America. So that's where these original designs came up. And there's been a lot of kind of, I guess, trial and error of how I wanted to design. It used to be that whenever I would design characters, so I've been doing digital art for about almost 4 years. When I would design something, I would just be like, okay, that's the final design. There and done. Until I decide to redesign like months in the future, and I wouldn't, because I wouldn't be happy with the design. So this is one of the first designs, and I was like, kind of like, I'm not the biggest fan of it. Um, I just know I wanted her to have her dad's hair, but her mother's eyes. And at the time, I was thinking that I wanted her hair to look, well, her hair would be black, but it would be curly because her mom's hair would have been curly, whereas her dad's hair would have been straight. So with the eye color, I decided on making it hazel. Um, some of the other character designs I've had here, like this bottom two supposed to be her mom and dad. The dad I decided to keep, um, but the mom I've been kind of changing it over and over again because again I'm not too happy with it. I might do in the future like a video where I try to design her character in the future. But so far right now, this is her mom's latest design. Um, that's all I can say. She's supposed to be a witch, but comically she's like physically strong for some reason. So she's actually a monk, but with magical capabilities. She just dresses like a witch because she's super into academia, and she does a lot of research and stuff. Uh, some of the other characters you see here is probably, if you watch the stream and you follow along, the blonde boy here is Matthias. I'm gonna bring up here. She also has a friend named Vivi. Um, but I'm not going over their designs right now. But you can see it. I have this like specific folder just for this campaign. Some of the other, I guess here you go. One of my first guard portrait of her, is what I decided. I wanted to go with a very cold look, but make it like she's like that anime show where their face is very stoic, but you can see their thoughts literally. So I wanted her face to be like, not basically just still for the most part, never moving. But like anytime she panics or something, it's like you can see her thoughts literally, but her face hasn't changed. So that's the vibe that I was kind of going for. Uh, and here's another. I just wanted to have an icon for her doing the peace sign upside down. I honestly don't know what that's called, but I thought that was super cute. Uh, but yes, so this was I guess one of the very first character design like official portraits that I have of her. This is like everything in color with details. She's supposed to have a dragon and as a shirt design, and she wears goggles too because she's artificer, so she does a lot of things mechanical based. It's funny you would expect her to be a fighter or something like a rogue because Yakuza. And I'll be referring it to as Yakuza instead of triads because I feel like Yakuza is something that a lot of people kind of understand. So I'm just be referring to her as with Yakuza. So I wanted to go for a dragon. It's a very popular like motif within like tattoos and stuff that they would have. And I'm not the best with how do you call is it like embellishments or like, fancy details and designs. I'm not the best with that, so I tried to just do random stuff. The brushes that I used are from this tattoo pack that I got. There was like a whole bunch of different one of them. I just kind of like chose whatever I thought was kind of cool looking and then decided to post them on here. Uh, but that's her design, one of the very first ones. Uh, oh, I did know that I wanted to give her a Hime kind of hairstyle, which is why you see, let's see here, the one of the very first guard outfits. But this is her official guard outfit actually. But the Hime hairstyle where it's like cut off across like this. I want to color it. When it's cut off like, oop, wrong brush. Let me just do this. But when it's cut off across like this, and then you have like the little side pieces, I wanted to do that. I thought it was super cute because you typically it's like a princess hairstyle. Uh, but yeah, as you can see, like in the earlier pieces, she did have kind of like a wavy hair, but I guess as I went on, I gave her like big wavy hair instead of like curly. Here's one of the. I think this is my official portrait that I had for the longest time. So again, a lot of the thing that stayed the same was basically the top, but I decided to add this little. I guess I don't want to. It's not a boob window, but I guess collarbone window. I wanted to add that because of the trope that like she's a fan service character in a sense, so she wears very revealing outfits. Um, but she herself, I hate saying this, I hate describing it because it's weird feminism thing, but like I don't want to say like a bimbo, but she's basically that. She's very, very smart. Like, I'm not gonna lie, she's very smart. She's basically a mechanical engineer. But when it comes to like common sense and everything, she's kind of like, eh. Like, she doesn't realize a lot of the things that are going around. Um, Totally not basing it off of I see you, Daft. Hi. Is that a snowman? But yeah, so this is one of the very first portraits that I did. I added a mole to her because I wanted her to have a similar beauty mark to her mom. So this little mole up here, I wanted her to have that. And I also gave her a designed butterfly tattoo, and I'm not the best at tattoos, so I just wanted her to have a butterfly because that's like a symbol of reincarnation. So I wanted her to have that. Um, and it's supposed to be a tattoo over like some sort of scar that she had. But at this point in time when I made this portrait, I didn't have this I didn't have that part of, like written in her backstory, so that's why it's not there. So that was one of the very first portraits. And then I'm just gonna go over the list of everything I did for her. So this is, I guess, one of the best, I guess, portraits of or art that I have of her. Um, in terms of technique, I feel like it's one of the best because of the lighting. But this I wanted to showcase more of what her full hairstyle looked like when it was down and more of her personality. So, um, you can see here that I have this tattoo. I'm just gonna do a new layer because I don't want to ruin everything. Oops. Oh, there you go. But yeah, so it's supposed to be a sword with the serpent going around it, and then it's over a bunch of roses. Now, this specific tattoo that I have in between her breasts, like right underneath her chest, right there, I wanted some sort of flower or sword to be there. I still haven't solidified exactly what I wanted it to be, but the concept of like sword with flowers, I want to keep that the same. Another tattoo that I have here is supposed to be a Chinese dragon, that kind of wraps around her thighs. Again, also I haven't like designed that in detail because I'm not very much of a tattoo artist. So the best I can do is just paint it on and make it look detailed. And I did add this tattoo right here because at the time I was really into Albedo from Genshin Impact, but I just wanted her to have a star there, but I decided to not keep that tattoo. And another one on the back here. Oops. Layers. Okay. So this one is supposed to be sort of like it's supposed to be like a demoness girl. Forgot what the term of it is, but it's like a spirit of a a woman who died while pregnant. I forgot what those are called. Um, and I don't want to get it wrong. But it's supposed to be that, and I wanted to combine it though. I wanted to combine it with the Medusa tattoo because for those who know what the Medusa tattoo is, I wanted to signify that part as like part of her backstory. And for me, I don't really like to. I like to show my characters' backstories through like art, like visual, like symbolism and stuff. I don't like to be outright because I wanted to be like one of those things, like when you're a reader and there's like details in a story that like it's not outright said, but if you know it, you know it, and it makes it like it makes it so there's like a deeper understanding of the story. That's basically what I wanted to do. Um, I haven't come up with the final design for that either, so that's why it looks like it's just painted on. But that's this portrait. The next one is the full guard outfit. I just wanted to have a reference for what it would look like when uh when she was standing or sitting down. And I can't think of anything additional that I added. I think there was some parts that I actually left out, but that's fine. The number one thing I wanted to emphasize is that she looked very different when she was in her guard outfit versus when she was in her normal, I guess, Yakuza looking outfit. Because she was supposed to be unrecognizable when she was in her guard outfit. And also, there's a 25 hit. It always hits. Sadly, I don't think I have the health compared to the rest, or HuiYing doesn't have the health compared to the rest of her peers to be able to survive anything that comes with a 25 that hits. Let's see. Another one. Okay, so this is the one I wanted to emphasize how similar she looks to her mom. Because in the story, she actually doesn't know what her mom looks like. She doesn't even know her mom's alive. But she doesn't notice like the similarities between her and her mom. So I wanted to have like two portraits here just to emphasize how similar they look. Uh, let's see. Oh, this is very iconic. We are fucking under attack. So this is where I guess some of her most of her tattoos are emphasized. Um and you can see here like the sword design for the tattoo isn't the same because again, I haven't solidified what I wanted it to look like. I did have this tattoo down here that I designed. It's supposed to be an Oni. And it goes down all the way down there. Uh but it's more to like symbolize like I guess protection against the things that did happen to her in the past. Uh and you could see the redesigned butterfly tattoo over here. That one also, I feel like I have a better, I guess, foundation for how I want it to look like, but it's it's still under the works. I'm actually currently commissioning a tattoo artist to do something for me. That way I don't have to, all I can do is just copy paste and I don't have to think about it ever again. Morgan's ribs aren't immune either. Did we ever establish whether he was fully healed? I just realized that. We went a couple sessions without determining if he was okay. Another popular one here is I basically based HuiYing off of Komi from Komi Can't Communicate. And if you guys know, Komi's very silent. She doesn't talk because of her social anxiety. And so I thought of that for HuiYing. I mean, she can talk, but like I like the similarities between having that stoic face, but like the way she expresses her emotions kind of cute, the way that Komi's is cute. And I just wanted to have that because I think it was adorable. Here's another. I have so many like HuiYing portraits, and that's because I never solidified anything, but that's okay. Everything's in the works, but as you can tell here, that as I draw her more and more, her clothes tend to become more like it becomes less. There's less fabric. Um, the design on the shirt changed, but that's because I thought it would look weird for a dragon to be like its top of its head to be cut out, so I decided to go with wings. Um, but here the tattoo looks more similar to the one that I did for the skull portrait, where it's a serpent or wrapping around a snake that's sitting on like top of roses. So that's more similar to the skull portrait. Other thing to add. Oh, right here. I guess the pencil, just to signify like, so a lot of people like to put hairpins to keep the bun in place, but for me, I put a pencil because the whole's supposed to be like an engineer of some sort. Which is funny because I don't think we've ever seen her in game do anything like that. So, other than one time she drew her robot friend, but that's pretty much it. Is Morgan fine? Is he? Not in that way either. Just, is he physically okay? Oh, here you go. So, I think this is when people ask me for references for HuiYing, this is what I send. Because this is the most detailed that I can come up with for her, both her guard outfit and her normal outfit. But even then, now this is outdated because she no longer has curly hair. It's just wavy hair. And I think this one's much more helpful though in terms of like knowing what her tattoos look like because you can see it's much more in detail. You can see the Oni much more detail. You can see the what's supposed to be the dragons going up her legs, but that one's also covered by her pants, so you can't really see that. But that is pretty much it. The only reason why I say this is outdated because something happened to her in the campaign. And so she's been going through a lot of different outfit designs, and I still haven't thought about what to give her, but it's okay. Girl needs to be ready for anything. I would do the same thing. He's fine as an attractive, but emotionally is a different story. Tell me why I thought you meant like emotionally attractive. Like how does that work? Someone who's stable, emotionally stable. Okay, so this is probably my most like I think this is my recent portrait before I decided to go on a designing spree. This was her last, how do you call it? I don't want to say stable, that's not the right word, but the most recent, like official recent outfit. So in the story, something happened and that there was clones, so they had to make themselves look different from the clones. So she decided to dye her hair or bleach her hair parts of her hair different colors, so that's why you see like the white in her outfit. This is when I officially solidified the whole under boob trope that goes on with her. So wanted to emphasize that. She still has the same hat. She still has the same pencil in her hair. Um, but pretty much what the difference was her hair. Please get you a man that is emotionally gorgeous. I don't think we have any of those in the campaign. This is pretty much, I never got to coloring this. I wish I would have, but now her outfit's changed again. But this is supposed to be, I guess, the best detailed outfit reference for her because it's like in different angles and such, and she's like doing different poses. But this is no longer the reference I can use. Also, she used to be tall, but now she's much shorter to match the backstory that I've decided to give her. uh, so here, try that once, and I can confirm a 25 does and will it. I wonder if there's like at any point like in a D&D character, like if you're at level 20, can you actually protect against a level or against a 25? I don't know if that's possible. Good one's emotionally course. Yeah, okay, new Hagen. Yep. Yeah, he seems to have his life together and he can cook. Get you a man that is emotionally gorgeous and can cook. But so here he is. Here we go with all the random character designs that I've decided to do. So after she got attacked by I'll say a friend, um she had some trauma that basically came up that she relived and she no longer felt safe wearing the things that she normally wore. So she decided to cover up and I kind of like this cuz some this kind of symbolizes it looks like funeral outfit. So I kind of like this cuz it's all black. Uh but yeah, it's supposed to be covering up everything. Oh, that was like the official portrait that I had for like 2 sessions until I decided, wait, no, I don't want her to hide everything. She's 4'11", but will lift you over her shoulder if need be. Look at Matthias. That is true. She's a very small woman, but she can and will lift anyone in the campaign. Even though her strength isn't the highest, I feel like canonically she has the most strength for some reason. Attacked by a workplace associate. That's the proper term now. We don't. Yeah. Oh, wait, this reminds me when I don't know why, but the people in our campaign refused to call each other friends. So it was kind of like whenever we would describe ourselves, it would be like we're friends, and then you'd hear Morgan be like workplace associates, and then 70 be like allies. Oh my gosh, she just got Tinkerbell sass. I can see that. Okay, so this was when I tried to be like a professional character designer because I tried to do the front, side, and back view along with some portraits. And I kind of like this. This really did solidify what I wanted her hairstyle to be. And I just realized, let me go to the previous portrait. Here, I thought, like, with the little hood that she was wearing, I was like, oh, you know what? It kind of looks like her hair. Her hair kind of looks like this. And I thought that would have been so cute if she had that. So I was like, you know what? I feel like for like another sense of like symbolism, she should cut her hair. So, because I feel like it's not a saying, but I feel like for most women, like whenever they go through a change, one of the things that does change is their hair. Like when they cut their hair, like it signifies a new chapter in life starting. Like I've had that happen to me so many times. I've had that happen to so many of my friends. So I feel like I wanted to have that symbolism through HuiYing as well. But yeah, in this design, I kind of wanted to I wanted to go back to the Hanfu because I feel like Hanfu is very like it covers you up pretty well, but I wanted her to also have that steampunk vibe going on. That's why I designed the skirt to have like a lot of ruffles. And I felt like when I first designed it, I didn't know how to do ruffles and I didn't really know how to do fabric, like how to like draw folds in fabric, so it looked very weird. And I was like, okay, I'm trading off like basically nude outfits for very like difficult clothes. And then it made me realize like this is why I don't draw a lot of clothes. It's because it's much harder to draw folds in fabric than it is to draw a naked body. Um yeah, I can't keep overcompensating for my lack of fabric knowledge by drawing basically no outfits, like nude outfits. But I don't know where, because I this at this point I started getting to really into Pinterest again. So I was like, I really want a cute like pink outfit for whenever she gets over this phase. And so I came up with this like kind of like modest looking pink outfit that's supposed to be like light pink, almost like nude color with a slight pink tinge and with a whole lot of sheer. I just thought it would have been like super cute. And the hat would have changed to like a light tan color. But as much as I really liked the design, I think maybe it could be one of our outfits, but we'll just keep it as like as an alternative outfits because I want something that's pretty much iconic, and I feel like that's too everyday-ish. Like it doesn't stand out. It's not main character enough. And so this is where this is one of the portraits that I did in that outfit. She looked very princess-like, and I really liked it. And then that's when a friend told me about like the whole concept of like uh the clothes representing reincarnations and stuff. So I really like that. I really like that idea. So then I decided, you know what? It's okay for her to have different outfits. It just represents the different reincarnations that she had in her life, and maybe she was a princess at some point. So that is a canon design, maybe for one of the reincarnations. But then knowing how I am as a person, I really wanted to go back to uh the whole nudity motif because that's practically what she's known for and what we joke about a lot with her. So then I decided this outfit as I went through Pinterest, and I really like the whole butterfly crop top. So that's where the butterfly comes from, and I really liked. At this point, I got really obsessed with Albedo again, but Albedo from a different franchise. It's I think it's from Overlord, I think. But I really liked the whole cutout with the hips, but I didn't want to have like a dress that covered all the way. So I decided to do this weird design where it kind of drapes down past past her hips, but she has like little jewelry holding it up here. She has that. Um and there's supposed to be like branches with like leaves coming out from the center of that piece, but I think ultimately like I like the design, but I decided to reserve it for another character of mine, the original reincarnation. When we can see her everything. Sometimes you just gotta crop a top. That reminds me of this YouTube short that I saw. It was like the easiest way to crop a hoodie, and like at first it just showed her cutting the hoodie, but then like she decided to do like some sewing stuff, and I'm just like, you could have just cut it. Like you didn't have to go through with all the whole sewing machine and everything, because not everybody has a sewing machine. When in doubt, crop it out. But yeah, that was a very revealing outfit, and I decided to keep that for a different character for the original reincarnation. So then I came up with this, and I really liked it because I don't know what it is about like very low lying skirts, but I something about it. I feel like Queen would really wear that. and then also the top, and I wanted to bring the under boob theme back, but I had to keep like the because she has like flowy sleeves for the most part and mostly all of her outfits, so I wanted to keep that. So that's this top was the best way I can think of that. But then, I was like, this outfit, as much as it's cute, it is not very I don't want to say practical because the designs I have been doing are not practical either. So this is just wasn't one of those like sparks joy kind of outfit. It's cute. It might be an alternative outfit, but it's not her official outfit. Cover mistakes, sensitive areas with emoji. I think I can do that. How do I do that? Oh wait, now I have to add like a text layer. Because I can actually access emojis right here. There you go. Oh wait. Which emoji to add? Let's like let's add this one. There you go. There, I'm just gonna upload this as her her official outfit. Just these two emojis covering that. I'm gonna leave it there for now. Let's see other outfit designs I've had. Uh, okay, so this one's kind of relevant in the sense that this is the original HuiYing. I decided not to keep the top. I did like the idea of the they call it. It's like it's not ribbon, but basically ribbon. I guess a sash going around her arms because that isn't hers. That is from the original Matthias. That reincarnation, like that's from the original one. So I wanted to keep that design aspect. But the wings I kept, the hair I kept, and the little wig antlers I kept. I really like the idea of her having hair that looks like it's always wet. So that's why the I have like long draping black hair for her. Finally safe for work content. I can finally stream this in the workplace. Here is the design for both like HuiYing and the original reincarnation. I I just realized I don't think I came up with an official design for the original HuiYing, but um this is basically the OG outfit with the new hairstyle, her current hairstyle, along with the original HuiYing, which we all kind of just know as the ghost fairy for now in this campaign because it hasn't been revealed what her name is. But oh, here's another one that everyone is pretty much knows because this is my current reactive in the campaign. It's what I call the cow fit. And the reference is because so she's currently I don't say dating, she's actually married to Matthias now. Um who is canonically from a farm town, so he can call him a cowboy in a sense. So there's been many jokes about him with him being a cowboy. She dresses up as an actual cow rather than a cowgirl. So this was the Halloween outfit that I had for her, an actual cow. And what you can see here is Matthias and his their two children. One is a chicken, the other is a sheep. But yeah, I think this is super cute, and until I can come up with the official portrait for her current outfit, she's probably gonna be a cat outfit for the longest time. For a long time. Uh and then current design for the ghost fairy. Oh yeah, we just decided she doesn't wear clothes. Or I decided she doesn't wear clothes. She has a lot of hair to cover up everything, so it's fine. Uh, but she still does have the wet looking hair plus the twig antlers and the fairy wings. And so far, this is what I have for the current outfit. Um, I decided to go with back to the whole. I wanted to bring back the Yakuza thing because I realized I was kind of drifting away from that. And so I decided to bring back the hat. She does have the little arm warmers again, those sleeves that resembled that of like the sleeves of a hanfu. I decided I want to keep the pink crop top because I was really like, I felt like that was right for her. And the blue bandana that she's wearing is actually a gift from Matthias. So I wanted to incorporate that part of the story. She still has the goggles, but she modified it. So now it has little pink butterfly wings. It's supposed to look like butterfly goggles when she's wearing them. In the hat, I wanted to add a couple of things. So in the campaign, for the longest time, her skill wasn't, or her, like, I guess secret power wasn't, like, well, it hasn't been, like, officially, well, it hasn't been, like, officially, like, solidified what it was. Because for the most part, everybody knows her with just having, time-based skills. But in the recent sessions, she hasn't been doing anything related to that. But I don't want to. I am gonna give spoilers, but her actual power is plant related. So in the one of the recent sessions where she was running away from her mother, um, she actually was growing some flowers, and she actually gave life to like a baby plant. So okay, that sounds so bad, but she basically talked to it and it came to life. Not she didn't give birth to it. But her ability is to grow plants, and uh as you could, as the players remember from the previous sessions where there was flowers growing out of Matthias's head, that's part of her abilities to grow things. So the little things you see from her hat is just a result of things that were growing out of her head, but they kind of just stuck onto the hat. So that's why there's supposed to be vines, and there's also like branches with flowers coming out, and also they vibing together. Oh, it looks so beautiful. Thank you. I still think it's too many colors. So that's why I'm trying to like use this stream as a way to think about how I'm gonna design her character. Uh I still am waiting for the commission on the tattoos, but it's okay because I told them to take their time. But here we go. After about 45 minutes of talking about past character designs, I am hoping I can finally get it like an official design for her. And then seeing the design process, everybody can see me sketch and then realize that I'm not a true artist and I don't have any idea what I'm doing. So let's start with the first thing I like to do, and basically start a canvas, delete it because it was the wrong size. To do the landscape, because if I'm coming up with different like shirt or pant designs or whatever, I like to have multiple options. And I see, for me, I visually like it best when it's laid out horizontally across. So we're gonna do landscape. And I usually like to put the canvas at like 70-ish%. I don't like fully white, but I don't like completely 50% either because 50% is a bit too dark. So I don't like fully white because it hurts my eyes, and also it doesn't, when you're trying to come up with like color palettes, the white kind of just washes out all the colors and it makes it look, you end up making the colors much more saturated than it's supposed to be. Uh, and then so from here, from going from scratch, what I like to do is I like to bring up Pinterest because that I like the whole idea of like it shows you similar ideas when you bring up, like, say you like this shirt, it brings up like a similar shirt design. The only bad thing is that you go down the rabbit hole looking through a whole bunch of different things. But let's bring up Pinterest. I'm like, I'm gonna be judged for the things that I saved, but it's okay. This is supposed to be a true stream of, you can literally see my thought process for everything. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start with like I'm gonna take a sketching pencil and then just do like a basic torso and everything. Like, I'm not trying to worry about like anatomy or anything. I just want to do character design, purely character design. This looks so bad, but it's okay because I'm just trying to get the point across. Okay. So what I had in mind the way I do is I'm not the best drawer, but I am better at painting. So I like to just paint on the design rather than like have to worry about like, oh, is this line straight enough or is this anatomically correct? Am I drawing the folds correctly? Because when you paint it, you can do the whole coloring and shading at the same time, and you don't have to worry about that. I don't know why, but for when it comes to drawing, I'm not the best at showing like stuff like folds in the clothes. So I like to do painting straight out because then I can just focus on the colors. But let's put the basics down because I know she has dark green hair. Okay, so I like to just have a reference of the colors. So I don't have to come up with a scratch every single time. Oh, I just realized. Okay. So for painting, I am actually just going to use a round brush. I don't know why I chose that one. Okay, so this is basically her hairstyle. She has like kind of like a bob hairstyle, bob haircut. Okay, so in this official outfit, I do have a blue bandana, so I know I want to keep that for sure. So I'm gonna keep that over here. I'm not gonna draw the goggles because it's more of a detail thing. But keep the bandana. And as much as I like the pink crop top, again, I don't know if I want to keep that. Um, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna draw it for now. But as I draw more characters off to the side or more designs off to the side, I can switch them out. So I'm just gonna basically draw a blob, what it's supposed to be. And then I also want to keep the hat too, so I'm also going to draw like I'm going to paint on the basic design for that. So right off the bat here, I feel like there's already too much detail going on, mostly because of the blue bandana. Um, but that just could be because I have like the top going, like I just have like a detailed top. So that's why I feel like it looks like there's too much going on. Um, but I feel like as I add more on, like the bottom and the sleeves, it'll probably balance out and just look like an accent color rather than like it's competing. Because right now it looks like the blue is competing with the black, competing with the pink. But hopefully, if I get the rest of the design down, it'll look more like just a tiny cute ornament rather than like it's the main star of the show. So So assuming I'm keeping, so if we just draw this right now, what I have for her, like the sleeves. Oh, okay, cool. I was scared it was gonna show weirdly. So I guess my little theory was right. It looks weird when it's just like those colors. If once I start drawing everything else out, it'll look more balanced. Well, let's go ahead and think of the skirt. So when I drew this portrait, I had no idea what I wanted to do for her pants because I was thinking I could keep the little pink skirt that I had for her, the really short one that kind of looked like a tube top. I could have kept that, but I don't think I like that design as much because it's very minimalistic to me, and that might have fit better for like a modern AU. But I kind of want her to look a bit more on the fantasy side, so I have to go more of the more historical route. I feel like so that left me with two other options. Because I had three. So that was one, but I said that's too modern, so let's go to two other options. One of my other options was to go back to the original pants that I had with the cutout, with the crotch cutout. I really like that, but I feel like she was reverting too much back to the original design. And I know this is supposed to be like I'm supposed to be going back to the original design anyways, but I feel like it would look really weird with the butterfly crop top. So we can try that. And another design that I did have was to have just a long skirt with the hip cutouts that I really liked from Albedo Designs from Overlord. So I can try that, but let's go through Pinterest for some ideas. One of the ideas that I did have, and I think my Pinterest is where it is. One of the designs I was thinking of is HuiYing from Etsy. She has like this. It's during their sneakers era, but she had like this pants that kind of, it was like skirt on top of, they look like underwear to be honest, because I don't, those shorts are too short for me or for my liking. But I was thinking of something similar to that, so I was gonna actually draw that. Modern AU where HuiYing and ties her enemies to lovers forced to be sitcom roommates. I'm trying to think of like the best sitcom like reference for them, and the best one I can think of is April and Andy, but he doesn't give me Andy vibes. He's a bit too sad for that. um, the best one I could think of was like Jake Peralta and Amy Santiago, because they're literally cops. But I feel like Jake's a bit kind of like unhinged, and I feel like as much as like dumb energy Matthias gives, like the energy that he gives off, he's not too crazy like that. But to be fair, those are the only like sitcoms I can think of. But I'm gonna go ahead and try drawing this weird pant skirt, short skirt, no idea. So one of the hardest things besides designing like what I want to use in design is like the color that I want to use. Because the design itself, that's like people can sketch that and don't have to worry about color, but for me, because I don't like sketching, I have to think about the color along with it. So I feel like I can go for, let's see, let me reference a previous design. I feel like I'm outing myself for all the stuff that I have saved. Wait, I do not have that saved? Guess not. That's weird. Okay, I'm gonna go save it right now. I'm gonna use this original design right now. I'm gonna use that and see how that turns out. Like, we were meeting my parents today. Why are you wearing a cow outfit? You said dress for the occasion, and they did. Actually, you know, I can see that now. Oh, I lost it. Okay, cool. So, this is the idea. So, I'm going to modify the original design that I said that I didn't want to keep for some reason. Um, so I'm gonna try to keep this design because I really do like the whole flowy pants thing, and I feel like it if like if anything, it'll bring back the Yakuza vibes that I did give her. So I remember it was black, so we are gonna do something blackish. So this kind of looks funny. This looks kind of like a swimsuit in a sense. Unlike the underwear that I was going for, that I had in the original, I really wanted to have that pants, that skirt thing. I still don't know how to describe. That's like weird skirt cutout. I don't know how to describe that. I can't find other references of it. I guess the other one I can think of is, oh, right here. It has it in better detail here. So it's basically underwear with the skirt on top of it. Is what I'm getting from it. So I'm trying to think of something that isn't too flashy because the whole point of this is that she's not, the outfit isn't supposed to stand out too much. It's not supposed to look like just a whole bunch of garbled mess put together, which I know what this is what it looks like right now. But I have a vision. For now, let's draw the outer part of the pants. So there's that. So assuming we keep that, now it looks like now what it looks like the blue kind of doesn't stand out anymore, which is my issue when I first designed this outfit. My issue now is that the pink kind of stands out too much and it doesn't look like it is fully integrated into the outfit. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to experiment by putting like the skirt on top of here and see what it looks like. And the reason why I'm doing it I'm not doing like a full like extending out here is because if you can see here in the pants, the front part actually covers part of the underwear, so I can do something like that. Now it just looks like a weird rectangle. I guess the best way now that I'm with this issue. Um Also, sorry if it's a little choppy because it's literally I'm trying to show my thought process right now. I'm trying to speak it out loud so that like people can know how I think, which sometimes like I jump to the weirdest conclusions. Let me put the little shoe right there. So I'm looking at this right now, and I think the issue is that there's not enough black at the top actually to balance it out. Like, because she would usually have veil right here. That might balance out the pink. But instead of maybe adding more black to the outfit, I can add more pink to the outfit, which would balance it out. Because I feel like right now, I wish I could explain to you how like what my brain is thinking, but like what I'm seeing is that the pink is kind of standing out too much, and it's not harmonizing correctly with all the black in the outfit. So what I can do is probably add like if I add some like design to the pink here or to the black here, it'd probably balance it out. Let me see. Okay. You know what? Actually, that looks much better now I think about it. Now, what stands out is like the skirt. I feel like it's probably because it's curving a bit too much, and I don't like that. Like, let's fix it. At this point, again, it just becomes underwear again. Also, I had to think about what the back looks like too, because it'll probably look a bit weird. Uh, let's see. I'm actually trying to look at the screen. What I'm thinking is that there's no design to like shape design to the pink shorts or skirt or whatever that is. So I could add something. Is that color? I could add that. So I can either add those little weird hip thingies or I can just extend it down and make it just look like a skirt. But then it gets rid of the whole design that I wanted to go for. Yeah, it just to me it looks personally not pleasing. And I think I'm realizing it doesn't quite fit because in this outfit here, you can see that the jeans and the shorts are the same color. So it kind of fits. Whereas here, this looks like a rectangle sitting on top of a. Yeah, it just looks like a rectangle sitting on top of her underwear. So if I did that, if I made the whole underwear that doesn't look right either. Okay. Oh, so actually, no, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just make the whole thing black, but then make the accents have pink. So I can have, just like in here, in this original reference, I can probably put this right there. And then like the trim of the skirt can probably be like pink or something. And I feel like that fits much better. Um, but I think with this, I feel like it's getting out of balance again with the black and pink. But that's probably because I probably have too much. I probably have to add more details with the pink. I can probably add this little detail on the top here, make it look more balanced out. I actually find that that's probably balancing it out way better. Okay. Maybe if I add. Okay. I feel like that looks much better. Yeah, so right here is probably like a character design. I would call that finished for now. Like this is character design 1. I really like this style. Um because it's basically the original style and I put a lot of thought into the original style, so that's why I feel like I don't have to edit this one so much and this one kind of went quicker than what most styles like. Most character design like for the outfits take me way longer. It takes me days to come up with this. But the reason why this one took way shorter was because I already had the original design. I didn't have that much to like I didn't have like a lot of new things to add. But let's try doing a whole new design. This will be fun. Um I don't have any ideas in mind exactly, but I'm going to go through my thought process of her character design. So the one thing that I really like, or the one thing that has to stay obviously is the hairstyle, the hat, and the blue bandana. Everything else I can change, but I would like to keep the whole Yakuza out like aspect to it. Um and I think one of the defining things for Yakuza outfits is just a lot of black colors. Um I could look up, let's see what happens if we look up Yakuza clothing for women. And let's see what we get. Okay, well, obviously it's not showing up anything. Uh, but yeah, the best thing I could think of is probably a lot of rogue looking outfits. But and she's not a rogue, so this is kind of hard. What I think is one of the hard things is to do is to balance her character, like who she is, like a class, like her personality, to her actual design. And that was one of the very hard things that, like, when I was coming up with her original design, like, this one was very hard. Because to me, this kind of looks like Rogue. Like, you would expect this to be Rogue. But in the end, I could justify it because she's an artificer and these clothes are really impractical. I mean, they're easy to move in, but they're impractical because if you get cut, I mean, you look at all the skin that's exposed, you can get cut easily. But it made sense because she's an artificer, so she doesn't have to be. She's basically a wizard, so she doesn't have to be up and close, like in combat. So it made sense that she could wear this. So I'm trying to keep that in mind with her new character design because I really like the whole revealing of the outfit because it's kind of her thing. That's what she's pretty much known for. Uh, and I feel like there's so much thought process that goes into like her character design because she's not as much as she is fan servicey. She's a very deep character with a lot of backstory in her. So I I obviously have to incorporate that in her design, and I don't want to just put like a bikini in there because I feel like there's much more thought than just like, oh, let's just put a pretty like lingerie on her or something. But that's just me. I feel like for anybody, you can design the way you want for your character. I just like to have a lot of symbolism in my clothes that I put for my characters. Let's see. A lot of these are fantasy based and they all also look a bit more European style to me. Yeah, a lot of them look more Europeanish to me. Another idea that I was thinking is I could probably, let me see. There was always this very popular design for like Chinese design. So I can try going for something like this. This is a very common like fantasy Asian outfit. They'll do like this outfit, but they'll cut up like the slits along the side, like much more higher up in the leg so that they can move much more freely or make the dress shorter. I can go for this if I want to go for the Yakuza vibe, but it's also hard because in her backstory she has like a lot of like I don't want to straight up say it, but like there's supposed to be a lot of like fairy-ish features. So I also have to incorporate a lot of like fairy core into this while incorporating Yakuza into it, so it's kind of hard. But if let's see. So we can probably incorporate the dress into it, but then make everything else fairy core. Or make the I guess the flowers itself is kind of like fairy core in a sense. She wears clothes. She wears clothing in the sexy way, of course. Okay. So we have this design off to the end. I don't need this anymore because I'm not going to be referencing the original outfit. Let's copy and paste, put that over here. I'm going to copy paste this. I'll make sure I'm on the right layer. I'm going to copy paste this up here because that's supposed to be saying the same. So if we're going to go with the cheap pal, I think that's how you pronounce it. We can probably go with the black to keep that Yakuza style. So let's see. I like the one with the arms cut out, but it looks like a lot of these have the sleeves on it. I've seen some sleeveless versions. Let's put modern and see what we get. Okay, it looks like Pinterest isn't working with me. Okay, I really like this one. So let's go with this. So this is also kind of similar to original design in the sense that I'm gonna go look over here. That she had this original kind of like sloping cutout right here, but it was a crop top. But instead, I'll be converting it to a dress. Also, not me on Pinterest right now to try and find stuff alongside of the. Oh, thanks. I feel that sometimes too, like whenever I'm looking up character designs for like HuiYing, like I feel like because I feel like we have the same Pinterest stuff, so like I'm just like, oh yeah, there's a lot of Sahira things, so that's why I like send a lot of Sahira stuff at a time in our romance chat because I just find a lot of similar things. Okay, so I kind of like how this is turning out with that dress. I feel like it meshes really well with the blue bandana. Okay, so in here, there's kind of like flower designs all around. Ooh, this is what I mean by like they cut like the slit along the side of the leg much more higher up. So I kind of like that design. So the way that would look over here is they would probably cut it out. Oh, what the heck is this? Eraser. The cutout would probably look like this. Let me just round out that right here. Okay. They probably look like that. I could incorporate. So I just realized in a lot of the designs I've had, her stomach has been showing, but this is probably the first time that her stomach has been covered up. But it's okay. I think it's fine because she still has a lot of other. She has her legs showing, so it's okay. I just realized this is such a nude pink that this looks like a cutout, like a boob cutout, but it's not. I really like the idea of a butterfly in the center. And then let me just draw a couple of flowers off to the side. I like an asymmetrical design, so maybe right here. And then put the flowers going off to the side. That's not too similar. Okay. Okay. So I kind of like that. Listen, the joint account Pinterest is a good idea. You know what? Yeah. It could be one of those things where like, you know, when you have like one computer and on Chrome or like YouTube, you can like change which like account you're using. Like it's still all in one Chrome tab. You can just choose which account though to switch to. That'd be cool, but for Pinterest. Um. So if we have the short skirt like this or a short dress, uh. So now that we have the Yakuza aspect, I feel like this is Yakuza enough. Um. Now I'm gonna look at the. Oh, it's called Chung Sung. I don't know how to pronounce that, but I think it's the same thing, but just have different names for it. Because all this is lingerie now. I'm looking at it. Okay, so for the comical aspect where it shows too much, we can have the slits cut out way higher up here, because I feel like she would have that. But then have like a string or something, like the way that this has it. There's like a string right here with like little ribbons or like bows like tied to it. Okay, I really like that idea. Let's see. I think I don't know why, but when I think of fairycore, I like to think of like distressed clothing. Let's see, distressed clothes. Let's load internet, please. I think my internet decided not to work. Let's try again. Oop. No, it's just deciding not to work. Well, it is raining, so I might be messing with the. I love how you can see Chris Evans in my ideas for you, Chris Evans. Pretty Korean girls because of my K-pop. Okay, let's see. Distress clothing. I feel like when I do like a design for Matthias, because I haven't come up with an official design for him, I'm literally it's just gonna be like hours of me just scrolling through pictures of Chris Evans and then not remembering that I have to design stuff for him. All your clothes are distressed if you have anxiety. What if like that's why they're called distressed clothes? Because like some of them look like it's literally gonna fall apart. And so it's kind of stressed out about that. I like that. That really gives me fairy vibes. Uh, this is like not what I think. It's basically just stringy clothes, but it looks broken up, if that makes sense. Like the best way I can show that on drawing is like if I were to add like little fringes or tufts to the ends to make it look like it's been ripped up. You know, it'd be very in character for HuiYing to take an original dress and just rip it up. So I feel like she would have stuff like that. Like it would literally be just be like strings coming off. Okay, I kind of like that idea actually. I like it a bit too much, but she would do that. Uh, so so much for looking up distress stuff when I just drew it on my own. But that's because I already had an idea. But if you didn't know what you're doing, obviously you would look it up. You would look for references. Oh, this is probably a good idea. But only the distress part is just the center of the sweater where it looks ripped up. And I guess along the sleeves where you can see the holes and patches in the sweater. Bonus points if the dress isn't hers. She just borrowed it from someone. No, she took Matthias's credit card and went to the store. She bought an incredibly expensive dress just to rip it up. Now I'm gonna look up fairycore stuff and see what they have. So a lot of fairycore incorporates like greenery and like vines into it. She has some of that kind of already going on in her hat. Forgot to merge this. But maybe what I can have is like, because there are supposed to be vines going in through her hat and falling off into the side. But I still think maybe that's not enough green. But just like I've described before, I don't want to have too many competing colors. I think she should stick to one color scheme, which ultimately right now is black and pink. The only reason why I could include that blue without it sticking out too much is because it's an accent color, so it's like you'll only ever see it like every now and then. And I think that's a very important part of character design. Um, ooh, I don't know what that noise was, but the kid laying on the ground. Wait, what do you mean? I'm confused. Oh. That's a mood. I love for okay, so the fairy ghost, her name is Heading, and most of her aesthetic that I have in her Pinterest board is just a woman laying in the forest, like sleeping or something. It's it's funny that would come up for fairycore. But I'm trying to think. Oh yeah, back to the topic about character design. Um, so when I first started doing character designs, I thought, as long as you have a color palette, you can use colors as many as like as widely as you want anywhere on the design, and it wouldn't matter. It wouldn't stand out too much. Damien, yep, that would be him. So, maybe it's just a family thing for them to just take a nap anywhere they want. Oh, I cracked my back, and that was really loud. Um, but I guess the best example I could think of for character design, I'm about to go through my entire gallery of things that I made. So one of my very first character designs over here. Okay, so I'm gonna go through Rosie's design. She's my first D&D character, and with her design, let me see if I can bring up an example of an official outfit. I guess this is, I don't know why it looks like this. So for this one, this kind of worked out because it was kind of just pink and purple with the accent color being orange for the gold. But as I was designing her more, and I kept bringing like I kept putting ideas out. Um, on not that one. It's hard because I don't have all of my Rosia stuff on here. But her design basically turned. I decided to give her a sunset hair, which is orange that transitions into red that goes into blue because her original hair color was supposed to be blue, but with her new dragon sorceress powers coming in, her hair eventually turned orange. So that's what the ombre is supposed to be. But then I felt like there was too much going on with the pink skin, the orange, blue, red hair, and the purple horns that she kind of was looking like a I don't mean this with like any rudeness, but like I call them like the newbie the newbie OCs because they you can clearly tell this is your person's like this is a person's first design. It looks what I personally think it looks amateurish. So I don't really like too much colors going on because it just becomes it's one of those things like, oh well, if you add if you add a lot of colors, they'll stick out more, and they'll become memorable. But I find for me that the most memorable characters are the ones that have a simple color palette, but like the accents is what makes them stand out. Let me see if I can come up. If I think of anything. So there are a lot of like my characters that had issues with that kind of like things where like there'd be too many colors going on. I guess I only have so much of like other stuff. Oh, this is an example of not good. I personally don't think this is a good character design either because there's too much going on. There's too many colors competing. There's red, there's teal, and there's blue, along with brown. The brown is kind of balancing everything out, but it still looks to me it looks amateurish because there's like you don't know what if you're to describe what color if you if you try to like think if you try to simplify her you couldn't because there's too many colors going on. At least in my personal opinion, I feel like because I'm not a professional designer, but I think you should only really stick to one color palette. Uh, let me see. I can't think of. I guess the best. I think when I first started getting the hang of this whole character design thing would probably be. Okay, so here's the best thing I could think of is all my different designs of day. The hardest thing that I had to do was I wanted him to have like the teal for the forest vibes that come with like his whole family because of the whole teal skills that Ezekiel has. That's the name of the dragon. Uh the hardest thing was to give him his family colors but also balance out like the red. You can see the little I gave him like little red accents because he joined another organization. This is really complicated, and I don't like to just dump all of my my D&D stories out here. But one of the hardest things to do is adding accent colors because like you don't want it to you don't want it to compete with anything else. That's why here I gave him a lot of black and white because I feel like black and white kind of neutralizes everything, and so you can have like these outrageous like saturated colors and it'll still be memorable because for the most part you'll have like the black to remember and then just like the type of like what do you call it, like when you think of him you'll think of the black, like think of a black square and then just add like bits of green, like that's how his like if you simplified his character that's literally what it'd be. It would just be a black square and then think of like green horns coming out. Oops, that's not a memorable green. Like that's there right there. Like the black square with the green horns. Like it's very simplified and you know that's him. But my very first design of him had this gray sweater going on. And again, I felt this was kind of weird. There's like a lot of competing colors in here. So I was like, I don't really like it because the gray, black, and white is competing and it shouldn't be. And so the next character design that I had for him was a black top with the white pants. And I like that too. I still think it's a very memorable design, at least for me. But I wanted to add fancy details and stuff. And so this is how I came up with the original, or not the original, but the final outfit canon design for him, which is a black coat. And I feel like nothing stands out too much. It kind of harmonizes well altogether. So that is one idea for character design. I feel like I really solidified it with I call this the dragon family. Because here you can see again, so this is Naz, the sibling of Day. again, I can have that like that that super saturated green because most of his outfit is gray and white, and there's nothing for it to like compete with. So the green becomes memorable, and you don't think of when you if you simplify him, he's just a gray square with green horns and wings coming out. Another character design that I had, um, that was also I feel like pretty memorable was also her, Vale. She's the last sibling for Day and Naz, and she's just a black dress with green accents in the dress. That's to me that's pretty memorable. I like it's pretty simplified. Uh, I can't think of like I guess one where I feel like I really nailed it down was if I can find it because I have a lot of things. Oh, hold on. This is one idea I think was kind of like a bad character design. Again, there's too many colors going on. For me personally, there's pink, there's yellow, and there's brown along with white, and I feel like there's too much going on. Maybe if I would have desaturated that pink to almost brownish, or maybe had that shirt as white, it would have been fine. But I feel like the pink and the yellow are really competing. So I don't know. I feel like this is color theory, but I don't know how to describe it. Just it's like one of those things like just because you have a palette doesn't mean like that automatically solves all of your color issues. You need to be able to balance your have one main color with the other color as your accent color. Uh I can't find where it is. Let me see. Huh. Oh, here it is. One of the characters, the designs that I feel like forever stick with me is Merlot's design. So to me, it's like one of those very like it's basic in the sense like yeah he's just a dude wearing a shirt with like like a jacket or whatever, but it's a simple design but there's details on it. So to me this looks memorable. I feel like I would definitely remember a character like this because the whole white and red color palette with the contrasting brown. So to me, that's a memorable character design because there's not too much going on, but there's enough detail that separates him from just other guys wearing just a shirt and pants. He's not like the other guys. But back to character design of HuiYing. Actually, I'm about to get sidetracked one more time just to describe. This is why this character design outfit works really well. The one on the left is because it's just black and red. There is nothing else in there other than skin tone. And skin tone is I feel like is one of those oh gosh, well let's see whoever that was. um but that's one of the I feel like skin tone's a very neutralizing color. But back to here. So back to fairy core. That's why I am having like issues trying to add the green to it because I don't want the green to compete with anything else in the character design. So what I can do, I'm trying to see a lot of other fairy core stuff include black. What I can probably do is add black, but make it a little bit like I can add like dark green. Because I feel like shades of if I add black, that doesn't interfere with any part of the design. But I feel like I can get away with a lot more things because it's she already has a black outfit, so I can already add details. But let's see. A lot of this. Oh, so I can probably add. I like that. This looks like spider webs. Okay, so what I could probably do is add stockings that look like vines, but keep it a black color. I want to see what that looks like. Ooh, that's too thick of a. Okay. Actually, I'm so dumb. I should probably look up vine stockings. I don't want to lose that though. Okay, let's just save this to HuiYing. Let's see other ideas before I add on. Because I feel like once I add the pants or this, let me add her shoes. I feel like something is missing. I'm not sure what it is. I feel like there's a lot of volume missing from her outfit. I think she needs something drapey. At least to make it look fantasy based. I've never had a cape on her, so I don't think a cape would work. But let's see. I really like this outfit, but I don't know how to incorporate this. See, a lot of this is modern looking. Now I'm looking at all this. Ooh, this is making me think of like adding like a sheer, like something sheer on top. I could just leave her like this though. Or I can add leg warmers too. Like Day's leg warmers. See, I think when I'm seeing from a lot of fairy cores, a lot of long skirts. It's probably looking really empty right now because she doesn't have that those stockings going on. Let's look that up. Line stockings. Oh, okay. It just that made me remember of some other stuff that I was saving. I really like that idea. Okay. Before I add that, go to my thing. I do have boards that I save of the specific characters that I have. Oh, I can give her socks. That's what I was trying to look for anyways, stockings. I really like there was this one thing right here. Okay, so it's basically like fishnet stockings, but with a lot of ornaments added onto it. Well, let me see if I can find one that's not so colorful. Ooh, I like this idea too. I'm trying to see if I convert this to, because I really like the idea of her having flowy sleeves, and this isn't too flowy. This kind of sticks to your forearm. Oh, that's cute. It's boots with flowers coming out of it. I could add that now that I think about it. So I do have white, but this is close to white, so let's just have like flowers. So I can have that. Again, I'm trying to think of the best way to make this flowy. Because the way her character design for her, at least her outfits, is that she has very well, let me just save that really quick for myself. She has a tight like tight clothes for like the torso, like center area, but then very flowy stuff for I guess like the limbs, so like the legs and arms have like very flowy fabric. And I can't think of how to convert something like this to something flowy. I could probably have vines hanging out from the side. Flower arm cuff. What is that? Oh. Hmm. I was thinking, so this might be a bit wild, but we can have the same arm, like sleeves, but only have it for the forearm. Let's see. Oops. Erase that. Have it like that. But I was thinking we can have let me add the pink again. The little I'm gonna make this into flowers. Just pretend those are flowers, those little squiggles. I was thinking I can have like it transition from flowers, like green, into oops. It just looks weird because you don't have like the arm proportions. So it just looks like a square. But the middle of the arm, so where it would typically start with like this over here, where it would typically start in the middle of the arm of the bicep, probably replace that with the start of like vines with some flowers, and it kind of transforms into fabric. And I could probably make the ends, like the beginning of it, look distressed, so it kind of transitions better, so it's not just a black rectangle. And then I could probably have rips in the shirt itself and have that replaced by like some like leaves or something, or replicate that that distressed look. Okay, so that adds the detail that is pretty much lacking everywhere else. I feel bad because I don't have that many details in the other. Let me let me add some stuff. I think a lot of the hard thing is trying to balance detail with simplicity. You don't want too much of a detail of everything on the outfit because like where is your eyes gonna go basically. Uh, I kind of like this just the way it is. I don't want to add like anything like leg warmers because as I said, to simplify, to balance your top, or to balance simplicity with detail, there's a lot of detail going on at the top, and if we add anything to the bottom, it'll kind of compete, and I don't want that to happen. So this looks more like a top heavy kind of outfit, whereas the other outfit on the left is a bottom heavy. Let's see. I kind of like this outfit too. The other one looks so empty now. But that's probably because her where she has covered up like in this left outfit, wherever there's empty space, there's supposed to be a tattoo there. So I made this outfit on the left with the tattoos in mind. Also, she looks proportion wise, she looks a bit weird. Hold on, let me fix that. It's a bit, except it looks weird now. Let me add that part. There you go. Cool. So I really like this design. Um, Now, I'm trying to think of what I would want for the third design, but I really like that second one to the point where I'm just like, should I design more? Because it already looks nice the way it is. Like, why, man, why make another one when I can have this one? uh, I can't think. 'Cause if I go, so the third one I can best think of because I honestly can't think of any other like Yakuza based outfits. But I could probably think of no, I really can't think of anything. I can let me look up Chinese like fantasy characters. But a lot of them have like covered up Hanfu, so it's like hard. Let's see. Yeah, a lot of them are like very covered up. Unless it's something like this. So this it looks like what they did was they took the hmm. It's basically the same design. So this is basically the same the concept where instead of a dress, it's just cut off into a crop top and shorts. And I don't see HuiYing wearing something like a long skirt like this. I really like this. Taking it to look at this. I really like that. Again, the concept looks the same with the tight center of like the top with the sleeves basically. So it would basically be the top. Imagine this as a crop top combined with the sleeves of this one. That's basically what it looks like to me. I mean, it won't hurt to design it, but you can keep going. We could try. Ooh, you know, I really like this because of the leg cutout in the pants. Oh, so what we can do is combine. Let me see if I can move this over here. Oh, did this? Oh, okay, hold on. Let's say. So what this outfit is doing is it's combining. Basically, I want. So if you had these pants on the left, but instead of the cutout being in the center, the cutout will be on the sides. And it's combining that with the little middle piece of this. And I can probably see that for. So this looks more of a kind of a bard kind of outfit, like a dancer outfit. It probably looks like that because the bottom of the pants is kind of not cuffed, but it gets smaller again. So if I keep like the flare of these pants, I could probably make it look like a hanfu. I love how it says Professor Aizawa too. Oh my god, it's basically her outfit. Okay, yeah, I really like the cutout on the sides because it reminds me of Albedo from Overlord. Yeah, okay. I can go with something like that. Let's see. Let me duplicate. I have three character designs, but that would be very good. Maybe I can put a poll. Well, maybe I have to make it more fancy because this looks like a whole bunch of hot mess. So I probably have to draw it out in much more detail. Oh, that is so cute, like an asymmetrical design. Ooh, I really like that one. Hmm. I really like that too. Okay. Let's go with the original one that I had before. Oops. Because, I can't go with something asymmetrical like this because it is a dual color design. With black and I can make it with pink instead. Okay, it looks asymmetrical here. But it looks like she's just sitting off to this side. Like she's like putting her hips to the side. That's why it looks like that. Let's... Hold on. Oh, I really like that. Okay, this is what I mean by I'm getting carried away on Pinterest. Yeah, I'm definitely getting carried away. Oh, I like the whole black outfit for that too. Ooh, for a modern one, this would be really cool. Okay, hold on. Okay, so what I'm getting, I really like the asymmetrical design. This. Uh, because I like how it's like one half is one color and the other half is color. But let me see what the original design had. So for the most part, the rest of her design is kind of symmetrical. So I think it's best that I keep, for the most part, the articles of clothing symmetrical. So let me go ahead and copy paste this top part. And oh, there's something. I have to cut out part of the blue scarf. Okay. And just add that right there. That's what's supposed to be kept the same. Okay. So I can probably incorporate the underboob design again from this now that I'm looking at it. We can try that. Yeah, because instead of the shoulders, instead of the drooping shoulders, it looks like right here, because instead of it going like this, it looks like it just does that. If anything, it kind of looks like, I don't think that's a top. That just looks like a cover. Because if you look at it, it doesn't go off to the side. That's a very HuiYing thing. Okay. This is so funny. Literally, there's like nothing keeping this together. Like, this is all. She just has hope keeping her shirt together. Okay. So, this is what the top would look like. Oops. Um, before I lose that. So, what that did. Oh, wait, so this is a different design. Okay. Oh, that's very cute. Okay. So this is hard because I kind of like both ideas. Okay, I think I understand what's going on now. What if we gave her a pink top instead? Like a pink top? And the reason why I want to do that is because so for the designs, It usually includes like this is like a dress and the top is continuous all the way down to the skirt or whatever going down to the bottom. But if I want it to be kind of like a crop top, obviously it's not going to be continuous, so I want to have that pink skirt sitting on top of a black pants. Like right here, like this is supposed to be one continuous thing, but it's not, obviously. Okay, so it looks like, well, let's just draw the underwear first. When you don't know what to do, draw the underwear. Okay. Oops. Ah. My Apple Pencil, like the skin or the little leather that sits on top of my pencil is kind of rotating. It doesn't feel right to hold it. Get it to sit correctly. Okay. Okay. Cool. I am going to cut this out and make it a little look a little bit more curvier. And it looks like the cutout is like that. I'm trying my best to visualize what this looks like. Okay, cool. And then I'm going to, instead of it, so the reason why I said it looked like a barred outfit is because it kind of had like closed pants like that. But instead, what I'm gonna do is probably make it flare out. So it looks more like the Hanfu design where it looks kind of like a dress. But it's going to have, oh, I'm kind of confused what's going on. I kind of like this outfit too. What the heck? Oh, okay, I get it. Okay. It's like this. Let's just have like the pink string because there's a black string there, but I'm just gonna put pink in here. So this is what it looks like to me. What's going on in the outfit? This is kind of reminiscent to the one that I said that I kind of based the design off of Albedo from Overlord because of the hip cutout, and I really like that. The only thing that's not really matching is the pants. Uh, not the pants. Sorry, the top. Hmm. Is it because it's sitting too low? Let me see. I think it is because it's sitting too low. Or, or I think it was too thin to begin with. And then this is actually supposed to be basically covered up. This looks really messy right here. But I mean, as long as I can tell what's going on, right? Okay. We can do something like this. It looks funny because you can't see the skin. You can't see the skin coming out on the, like, for the hips. It could just be with the body proportions too, that her hips look really low. Let me do freeform. So we can do something like that. She looks very fighter-ish, like rogue. Or even monk. Yeah, she looks like a monk. Now I'm looking at this outfit. Um, but I guess that's the whole, like, she doesn't fit what she looks like. Trying to look at this. It could be that the top just looks very unbalanced. Let me see. Let me do this, but like, what in the world is that? This kind of looks like a butterfly to me. I don't know where that original outfit. Oh no, that one matches. To me, that matches. Let me go back to the pink. Is it because it had the black outlining it? Oh, well, that's. Let me see. I can do that. I really like that idea right there. So, what I think the issue is just. I think. I feel like it's just one of those things where it looks weird until you've seen it, like, colored or, like, actually properly drawn. Uh. Again, the one thing I don't like about this is looks kind of simplistic. I'm trying to look at it. Um, what I could probably do is like add details like the same color maybe, but like there's flowers but like different. That looks better to me actually. I don't know what I'm doing. Let's just add pretend those are flowers. Okay. And that looks better to me because now it doesn't look so empty. It does look like she has in this picture over here, like little. Oh, okay, that looks better. Yeah, that looks actually better right there. I think again it's one of those things where the skin is missing, so it looks kind of weird when you don't have that skin to balance it out. Oh my god, I love this outfit. I think what's also missing is probably her pants, or not pants, her shoe. Um, again, this looks very monkish. I love the one ass hanging out. Yes, so funny. She's not even a rogue. Or not a rogue, she's not even a monk. But I really like this outfit. I think it just looks weird because this looks like a skirt. Again, it's just one of those things. Maybe it's probably sitting too low. Or, like I said before, it's just without the skin, it kind of looks. So I probably have to draw this out. I really like the sleeves though, so let's add that. Like I said, in most of her outfits, she's gonna have those sleeves anyways. Yeah, I think it just looks weird because she doesn't have that, oops. She doesn't have that thing going on. Like the skin. Okay, so let's add the little details in the arms. Oh, let me add that. And then we can, now that the last design is made, I can probably start sketching the actual, like, detailed stuff. I think one of the issues that I had before with my old character designs that I would do like a detailed sketch outright without having thought about like the different character designs. Because when you sketch out things in details, it's kind of hard to change something out in the future if you decide you don't like something. Okay. Yeah, I really like this. I really like that middle design though. I'm just realizing there's like almost no fairy things incorporated into this design over here. But I could probably add a lot of random flowers everywhere. Or I could do it like I did in that other previous thing and add like tree branches or something coming out from the center here, but let's see. Let's save this, not as a PNG. Okay. Now that we have the design, let's actually come up with like some sketches. And this is the one I will do in portrait. Now, for me, I'm gonna do like one portrait per outfit. So I have a separate reference photos for these. I have like a separate reference photos for just poses. Let me see if I can find them. Swear to God, I have a lot of Chris Evans. I do have a lot of Chris Evans, and there he is. You know what? I'm just gonna do K-pop because I have a lot of them where they're like in the middle of a pose or something. Uh, this will be hard. Hmm. So, I think it might be too extra to come up with different because originally I was gonna do just one pose for each outfit, but I think I want to do like 2 to 3 poses maybe. Like one portrait, one sitting, and then one long pose, like standing up. So that we can get like a good idea of what it's supposed to look like. Might be hard to find something though. Uh some of these are just they're just standing there. I don't know why it's so hard for me to look for poses. I find that so much more harder than like actually designing outfits. I don't like this one. It's kind of simple. Okay, let's start with the sketching process. And I honestly suck more with sketching than anything. Just drawing, actually, I'm suckish with. But we'll try to see if we can get through this. Uh, so for my sketches, when I start, I should honestly be doing like the whole gesture thing like this, but I just realized she's going like that. But I find that I get my proportions wrong when I do it with gesture drawing. Because gesture drawing, you're supposed to get like the overall like flow, like how do you call it? You're supposed to get, like get the whole like motion, like see how her body's curving to the right. But I feel like when I do that, I get the proportions really wrong. So what I personally do is I just draw circles to represent the body portion or the body part. So like here's like the torso, and then I just exaggerate it, and instead of doing it like I don't know how people do gesture drawings really well, but like they incorporate anatomy somehow into it, and I can't. My brain doesn't function like that. I can only do one thing at a time. So this shape that I have for the torso, I like to think of a rib cage. So I draw a circle first, and then I draw like because the way your ribs are, like you have the center point that is higher than the sides of your ribs, so that's why it looks like a little triangle here. And usually where that top, the point of the triangle is, that's the center of the torso. And in the picture, to me, it looks like she's like not going directly straight. So I'm going to have a curve like this in the center. And it looks like her face is going to the right. That's why I'm curving it to the right. I don't do like a circle, like it, like I don't do like this weird thing. I don't know what people do with that. I mean, that's basically what I did, but that's too, how do you call it? I don't know. I feel like that's too, like I can't get the eyes right. So what I like to do more is kind of like a circle just to get the width, but then I'll go straight to like where the person facing, and then I'll like form the cheeks to like I'll form like the cheeks according to the direction that they're facing, and then immediately erase that middle line. And then what I use is for the reference for the eyes is that I actually just draw the ears, because the top of the ears lines up with your eye. And since she's facing a little bit to the right, you're gonna have the extension of the skull over here. But let's see. Another one of the issues that I have is with the neck. If I've been recently making the necks too thick, so which makes them look a bit masculine. But so we have the torso. Let me get the collarbone so I can properly get the shoulders. Another one of the issues that I have is correctly putting the proportions of the body on. So I feel like I'll make the top or like the head and the body too big, and then I won't have any space for my legs. And I remember like my old drawings back in my sketchbooks back when I was in high school. It would literally look like this, but then I realized I ran out of space for the legs. But then they would just look like midgets with like legs that look like this. Basically, because I I kept focusing so much on the top without realizing the whole picture. But so how I draw the bottom part, let me just erase some of the scratchy lines here. Let me get the shoulders here. I have to like keep in mind her proportions. So HuiYing's a very short girl, so she's gonna have shorter limbs and just a bigger head in proportion to her body. Versus here, HuiYing's a very tall girl. She's like 5'8", and her head's very small in comparison. So the way I draw the bottom part of the body is I like to envision like an underwear. So I draw like the top of the underwear, and you can see she's like jutting out her hip to the right. So it's gonna be facing a bit to the right like that. These are the sides of the underwear. And then I draw the bottom of the underwear. And then I like to make lines to the center to represent like the where the thighs are supposed to be. Now, that actually looks pretty good. If I want to have if I'm thinking so if it's just like if you're looking straight on, then like the top part of the underwear line will actually be like this, but because it looks like she's thrusting her hip a bit to the back, her her hip is facing, I guess, forward. The top of the hip is facing forward. So it's gonna be like a line instead. And then if needed, you can draw like the rest of the like the back to make it look like a 3D object. I don't really do that because I know it's gonna be covered anyways. But some people need to visualize it. And if you're just beginning out, I would probably draw it to help you visualize that the pelvis is going a little bit forward. Again, this looks kind of funky because it's not like true 3D art. This is more just like kind of like sketch like guidelines to just help me think of how to draw the anatomy later. Let's see. So let's draw the thighs. The thighs are literally my favorite part to draw. And HuiYing has bigger thighs because she's bottom heavy. So I like to draw kind of like this oval football shape. Um, I just the top part I just use the guideline of the underwear that I drew for the top part, so I don't have to worry about the shape. But it kind of goes from like big to small, but it depends on the size of your thigh and how muscular it is. And she doesn't have that much of a muscular thigh, so she's bound to have like a lot of fat in the inner thigh right here. So I'll have like this weird how do you call it? Do you see like this little thing right there? It'll have like this like lump of fat right there. And I forgot to draw on this side too. There will be like a lump of fat in the middle. And it'll like go inside. It'll go like an inner curve like that. And in the very end, what I like to do is I like to make it like a how do you call it? It's not like a pointed end. It's kind of like a it's not like too pointy of an end. It's just curved at the the end. But from here, so I'm changing the I guess the pose just a tiny bit. She has both of her legs facing forward, but I'm gonna have I guess what our left would be, what her right leg would be, facing out instead. So I like to draw circles for the knees, and the best reference I could think of how to make like anatomically correct legs. I saw this one thing before where someone did like this curve in a circle, and it goes. I think I'm like literally forgetting which way it is. Hold on. Let me try to unlock a core memory right now. Maybe it was like that. We'll see. I feel like a lot of my drawing is now like muscle memory, so I don't really think about it. I just do it. But I can see from here in this reference picture because Wang's it practically like a skeleton. So like I can just imagine a skeleton here. It looks like it juts out a tiny bit. Okay. And then I am right. Okay, so. Okay. That is what I think. So if this is like the thigh right here, this is the knee right here, and then your calves go out like that. I don't know. That's so weird. That looks wrong. But that's how I thought of like the way your knees connect, how it connects your thigh to your calves. Oh, I'm doing that thing again where I ran out of space at the bottom. I'm gonna make this entire thing smaller. I'm also gonna make it squashed a bit more so she looks a bit shorter. Forgot she has a little bit muscle. Half my renaissance right here. Let me see. Uh, I'm like forgetting stuff. Okay. I like how I erased the line just to draw this same line again. Okay. I just recall like the outside of the calves are a bit rounded. But oh, she has kind of more tinier calves. I still recall like this randomly unlocked a memory that I had in high school. There was this girl that I looked up to in terms of like drawing because she drew like anime art. And at the time I thought it was so good. But looking back now, it looks really amateurish and I don't like to brag, but I feel like my art is kind of better now. Or in terms of like not anatomy and stuff. Because I turned away from anime and I started doing more realism. But I still remember when I drew my characters, she said that my calves were really small in comparison to the thighs. And I was like, what do you mean? I just use myself as reference. Like, my thighs are bigger in comparison to my calves. So, this is like one of those examples where the calves are small, but that's because some bodies are like that, aka my body. Oops. This eraser's too big. But like back to like okay, so like writing. I feel like I have certain songs that I'll dedicate to like a character, and I will not use that song for any other character or any other um I won't use it for like any other scenarios because it's dedicated to one specific scenario. Okay. So the hardest part for me is to draw, and I like to just think of it in like pieces and I just add on to it because I am not the best. I have to add the ankles. I totally forgot about that. Ankles. And then for the feet, it looks like she's facing it a little bit this way. But I'm trying to chop, this sounds bad, I'm trying to chop up the foot. I'm trying to put the heel first. And then add, but that's the heel. Chop up the foot. Chop up the foot. Put the heel first. And then add the toes. Oh, now I know why it looks wrong. Okay. The curve should be that way. Okay, the big toe is inwards. Okay. I always have to think about that, where the big toe goes. That looks wrong too, maybe because of this curve? Um, let's see. I can't think of how to do this. Why do feet exist? Okay, you know what I'll do is I'll draw the front of the foot, the front of the shoe. I'll do that. Oh, I see. This is a thing more about like perspective. I guess because we're looking at her from top up. or top down, like from the top point of view down. If this is like the horizon, the curve should be going this way. But I think that's too curved. Oh my god, someone up there, please help me. Yeah, this is funny. I'm an artist. I know exactly what I'm doing. Okay, let's not worry about anatomy. Let's get the line right. Okay, so I think that's a bit too curved. Let's try this. Because I don't think. Please, I don't care about. I don't know how to draw stuff. That's why it looks weird, because, like, it's. Oh, it looks weird because her knee's not entirely. I don't know what I'm doing. Gosh, okay. Let's visit that so I don't get fixated on that. And I think I want to change it because I wanted her thighs were sticking out, like her foot was sticking out to the side, but I think I want to change it back to the center. So I might have to change the positioning, make this a bit more curvy. And make this a bit more skinnier. But it's not completely to the center. So that's why there's still that little lump of fat right there. That might be why it looks weird. Okay, I was like, I know this is so like I have K-pop in the background. Like this sounds like Solgi, her new album. Okay, so the beauty about digital art is that, like, I can keep erasing without having to worry about the quality or the thinness of the paper. But let's see. Oops, I undid, but it's fine. It's fine. Okay, so I love how a lot of like art tutorials will tell you like, oh, make sure you don't have scratchy lines. Here I am with scratchy lines everywhere. But as I described in one of my like YouTube videos before, I have scratchy lines not because I can't decide how I want to do the line, but I'm also trying to keep the shading in mind, like what parts will be darker. Like right here, I feel like that'd be darker. That's why I'm making it like I feel like it'd be darker because of shading, but it's kind of all about like the way you think about it, like why you put the purpose of how or purpose of why you make certain lines darker or scratchier than normal. Okay. Like right here, this is scratchy because I can't think of how I want to draw the ankle. There you go. Let me flip it just to make sure everything looks fine. Bothers me that looks really messy. Okay, cool. Now that I have the ankles, now I have to revisit the part that I hate the most, which is trying to understand how to freaking put these feet because I don't know how to draw. I mean, she is wearing heels. Like, HuiYing is wearing heels. So I could just probably draw it because I'm trying to draw as if she wasn't wearing heels, but let's just do it as if she's drawing or as if she is wearing heels. And then draw. I haven't decided what kind of heels. I feel like I'm just gonna have the same heels that she usually has for her outfits. This looks weird. I see, because it's facing outward instead of inwards. Yeah, I hate feet. Let me just do like a rectangle. Let me just do a rectangle and I'll think about it some other day. And by other day, hopefully I can get designs done. Okay. Hold on. The direction is not. Okay. So I have the legs. The reason why I draw the arms last is because if I decide I don't want to keep the same like arms, because sometimes I don't always I want to change out the outfits, not the outfit, but the pose so that it's not the same exact pose. And this already looks a bit different from the original. But let me just see. I'm just gonna connect the torso to the hips. So she has very pear-shaped body. Okay. So I was thinking I'll have one arm in the front and one arm in the back because I don't want to completely cover the design of the hip over here. So you could probably make this in the back and then this in the front. Yeah, that fits better. So I'll have that one arm going in the back. Realize her shoulders very. And I just realized it looks off center. Oh my gosh, I can't get this correct. Okay, so I'm gonna have this arm going in the back and then this one going a little bit in the front. Oh no. I'm going to get. Give me a sec. Cool. Got that fixed. So I'm gonna put her in the arm in the back. And then this one in the front, I'll draw the hand first. And then I remember there was like this trick that I saw on Tumblr long time ago. And I don't know how it works anymore, but I feel like I can get the gist of it. Uh Now I'm just gonna go with what intuitively makes sense to me. And I feel like that's how a lot of my art process goes for the most part. It's like, let me do this thing that's supposed to help with anatomy. But then when I revert to like, nah, I'm just gonna go back to what I know. And that sounds bad, but for the most part in learning art, you don't you slowly accumulate things. You don't all of a sudden just pick up a new art style or a new way of learning overnight anyways. Like this way of drawing the the basic skeleton wasn't something that I started with. I started out with just circles, but over time I slowly started implementing like these I started implementing the skeletons like the that kind of look like actual skeleton body parts like the rib cage. Cuz I used to just draw like circles and stuff. But let's see. Shoulder's a bit too high. Okay. So do I want it to go like this? Or do I want to go straight down? Um, because she is bending a little bit forward, her thigh or her hand might actually be a bit lower on the thigh. So let me go ahead and show that here. Because when you stand straight, your hands go down to the middle of your thighs. So because she is bending a little bit lower than normal, her hands should go a little bit lower. But it's not completely, because if we're going straight, like if her arm would go down straight, that would her arm would actually be her hands would actually be a bit lower. Your limbs are much longer than you think they are. At least that's how I learned. I learned that your limbs are longer than what you think they are. So I'm gonna have them bend a little bit. This looks wrong, but that's because I'm trying to get the overall design, what I think it should look like. Also, what happened to her collarbone? Unless your collarbone's lower. Oh yeah. One thing I one of the earliest things I learned was drawing the collarbones because that helps a lot with knowing the orientation of your torso. And also drawing the I don't know what they're called. They're not I was about to call them the trapezoids of your body. Whatever this muscle is. I know it starts with trap or whatever. But a lot of people like forget about that in drawing, so the collarbone helps you remember that it exists. It also helps me remember that the breast is much lower than I think it is. Ooh, what the heck was that? Okay. Now that I've done that part, her torso is a little bit more to the side right here. Like it's leaning, it's aiming basically more towards the side, this left side over here. So her breast is not gonna be going out like that unless she had big tatas, but she does not. These very small ones. So instead, I'm gonna be drawing the back of the rib cage. Not the back, but I'm gonna be drawing like the shape of the rib. I'm starting to draw a lot of the guidelines that I had before. Now, my issue here is trying to recall how the arm connects to the freaking torso. Let's see. Does it go like that? Nah, that doesn't seem right. I might have to look up references. Now that looks right to me. Okay, that line's distracting. Let me do this. I feel like that helped me determine where it's supposed to go. Okay, so if this is the center, then it should be that goes. It might be. It might show just a tiny bit. Because if this is the belly button right here, she could just have very high sitting hips. I'm trying to think about it right now. One very tiny anatomy thing that I learned that I personally really like the look of. So when you draw the breast or whatever, once you end it, I like to draw like this bottom part, that little curve, that little tiny curve to represent the rib cage. And I don't know why, but I feel like that's such a simple design that I feel like adds a lot of detail. Makes you seem like you know your anatomy. I'm like, yeah, I really don't. I literally know no anatomy. Like, I'm not even sure I'm doing this correctly, but it looks kind of right. I feel like a lot of art is intuitive, just whatever kind of looks right. But that's also kind of bad too, because some people don't recognize how bad their anatomy is. She has very high hips. What the heck? Or that just looks like very. No, that's just high underwear like line, because I feel like her belly button should be down here. Oopsies. My hand is slipping. Okay. So let me fix this arm now. I was kind of putting too much detail on the stomach there when I know it's gonna be covered up by clothes anyway. This is what I mean. Like, I feel like I have so much knowledge. I really literally just said don't know anatomy, but I have so much knowledge. I have so much more knowledge of anatomy than I do of clothing that I just prefer to draw people with no clothes than I do with clothes because it looks better. Okay. Unlike the legs where I draw the thigh and the knee and the calves separately, like as three pieces, I like to draw the arms and like the top arm and the forearm separately. But I'm like looking at the time now. I think it might be best if, because I do want to put this out here. I do want to put the designs and have people vote what they think is the best. But I feel like some of it looks really wrong. Not like bad wrong, but it just doesn't look. The full outfit isn't coming to life because not that I forgot to add the skin. I just personally don't add the skin. So what I might do is probably paint in the skin and then upload the first thing that I made. I'm gonna add a little thingy right here. And then so she has kind of more tinier arms because she doesn't have that many muscles. She's not a fighter. She's an artificer, so a lot of she does a lot of things off. Like she doesn't do combat hand to hand. Okay. So I think that's okay for basic. I don't know why I put so much emphasis on on the anatomy when it's going to be covered by clothes. But I guess this is a good anatomy practice, so it's not like time wasted or anything. Thumb is in the inner part. I always have to remember that. Let me do that. Does she look 4'11"? I mean, I feel like she looks 4'11". Let me clean this a bit. There you go. Okay. I have like this paper cut on my finger and it's hurting. It's starting to hurt a lot. Okay, so I'm gonna do, as I said over here, let me just edit the heck out of this because it looks funky. And it's much more revealing than it's supposed to be. Or that is drawn in here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to add the skin on top. Let me get the reference photo because I am thinking of ending soon. Mostly because I have mortal duties. But I also need a rest too. Because I have a tendency when I draw, I just keep drawing. Okay. Also, I really like. Let's go ahead and make this a painting thing. Oops. I don't think that was the correct reference to use for her skin. Because her skin should be this color. More yellowish. Yep. Ah, the heck. Let me take this out. Let me see. That's supposed to be the neck. And then I'm literally just painting and I don't like how big how broad her shoulders look here. So I'm not going all the way to where I draw the supposed shoulders. Okay. Uh this looks funny. I think that's because it's supposed to be like that. This looks funny. Oh god. I could liquefy everything afterwards, make it look right. I just realized, yeah, because like her legs look all lopsided and stuff. It's fine. I feel like people will get like the basic idea, right? Yeah. Okay, so again, I really like this middle one. I honestly might go with this middle one because it's more different than the other ones that I have. The one on the left, look, she just straight up looks nude. Like that's funny. Let me do this. And color the top. Hopefully it looks more right with the hips filling it out. It does, actually, now I think about it. It looks more right. She looks more, like I said before, she looks more monkish. I know she's not a monk, but character design is very important to me. And I like to make it so that if you don't know that character, you know exactly what she does. But it's not like you can tell from this left outfit, anyways, what the hell she does. So, I honestly feel like the issues I'm missing. Let me put like maybe if I put like a tiny tattoo here, like it fills up. Looks like a cat, but it's supposed to be an oni. Trust me. And then the snake coming off to the side. Not a snake, a dragon. Okay. So it probably looks really empty because it doesn't have the detail going on. Oops. Let me see. Yeah, it doesn't have the detail going on. Let me do that so it fills that out. Let me do that. Okay. It still is lacking some details. I feel like the middle one has like that. The middle one has so much detail going on. I think it's because it incorporates the fairy core, whereas the other ones, I mean, they do incorporate fairy core, but it doesn't. Like this one literally incorporates like greenery to it. But hold on, let me add the green to the top here. Probably what's missing is like the little lines that are supposed to be coming off. Um, I still feel like something's missing on that left. It probably because it doesn't have that much color change the way that the other two on the right have. But I mean, I guess you can let me know on Twitter or something. I honestly don't know what I could be missing on the top. I feel like something's missing on the shoulder, but I honestly couldn't tell you what I think is missing. Uh yeah, I honestly can't think of anything. But let me just finish this out. And I think that's pretty much it. Let me know if I should stream like the paintings of all the separate outfits because I feel like it'll take a lot of time and I feel like I mean that is content basically. But then I'll probably have to wait till then. I might do the portraits separately, like something like this. I might do it separately, but I definitely need to have something for the session because I can't just keep having Cowfit HuiYing because it doesn't. Everybody else looks like they're part of like a D&D campaign, and Wayne looks really out there, like she's really sticking out. Anyway, but yeah, I'm gonna post this on Twitter. I want to see what people like the most. I personally like the one on the middle the most. Um, but the ones on the outer ends, those are well, the first one on the left is very to me, it sounds weird to say nostalgic, but that's what her original outfit was. So that always have a place in my heart. The one on the right is completely I made this up, and I really like the outfit design, especially the bottom part. So let's see. Let's see what people like. Anyways, um, Casey forgot I am May May. Uh, this art channel is Imbue Art, and I go by the same handle like on Instagram and Twitter. I wish I could be more active on Instagram, but I get overwhelmed by a lot of social media, so it's kind of hard. But I'll try to be more active, at least on Twitter. But yeah, thank you for watching. You can catch me on at Ronan Quincy's D&D stream. That's my boyfriend. I play HuiYing there. You can see this girl in action. But yeah, oh, the middle, the last one for yeah, yeah, I know, same. Something about these outfits, maybe because I actually, I don't know what it is when I actually take time to think about it out loud. I don't know what it is. I can't do a character analysis on this thing right now. But yeah, thanks for watching. See you later. I don't know when, but I will. Yeah. Bye.